Let's have a look at question 2 in this video. So we have a monopolist that has the following demand curve and a total cost curve given by 16 plus q squared. Then we have the marginal cost curve, which is just 2q. Now what's going to be the profit maximizing quantity and price, and what's going to be the profit for the monopolist? So recall that in the case of the monopolist, he has power on the market, so he does not have to take prices as given, meaning that he's going to maximize his own profit by setting his own marginal revenue to his own marginal cost. The marginal cost is given from the question, but we need to know the marginal revenue. And we already know that the marginal revenue is going to have twice the slope of the demand curve. So the marginal revenue is going to have the same format as over here, but instead of having the slope equals to -1 is going to be equal to -2. So the marginal revenue is going to be 100 minus 2q. We also know that the marginal cost is given as 2q. And by the way, even though it's given in the question, let's just make sure we understand where it's coming from. The marginal cost is coming from the total cost function, because the marginal cost is just the derivative of the total cost with respect to quantity. It's the change in total cost with respect to a change in quantity. We know that the total cost function is 16 plus q squared. If we differentiate that with respect to q, we would get 2q, and that's where it's coming from. So everything is on point so far. Marginal revenue, marginal cost, we can make them equal to work out the profit maximizing quantity. So marginal revenue equals to marginal cost, meaning that 100 minus 2q is gonna equal to 2q. So if you work out the math over here, we will have 100 equals to 4q, meaning that the profit maximizing quantity is gonna be equal to 25 units. So the monopolist might sell 25 units on the market. Now with this quantity, what's gonna be the price that he's gonna sell at? Well, we already know the price function over here, so we can substitute the quantity in the price function, meaning that the maximizing profit, the price maximizing profit, I think I'm getting this wrong anyway, ignore it. The price, the optimal price, so to speak, 100 minus 25 is gonna be equal to 75. So we got the price, we got the quantity, we can find out the profit of the monopolist. So if we go over here below, let's work out the profit function. We know that the profit function is the difference between total revenue and total costs. Now what's gonna be the total revenue over here? The total revenue is gonna be equal to the price times the quantity that we sell minus the total cost, and the total cost, we have the function which is 16 plus q squared. So we're gonna write it over here, 16 plus q squared in brackets, 16 plus q squared. Now let's work out the math over here. We know the price and we know the quantity. Let me go a bit above to have the data. We know the price, we know the quantity, so the profit is gonna equal to the price of 75 times the quantity of 25 minus 16 plus 25 to the power of 2. If we do the math, we will get a profit of 1234, and that's it. We answered the question. The profit, the optimal price, and the optimal quantity in the case of the monopolist, and we are done.